What's up, friends? Today is going to be a more chill, just relaxing type of episode. I'm going to go through a couple of announcements, a couple of things that are going on in my life right now, and it's going to kind of relate to the future of the show. It's going to relate to kind of the different content you're going to be seeing from me in these next couple of weeks and couple of months. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy this episode. And this is just more fun. We're just chilling. We're having a good time today. So the first one is talking about what I'm doing. I'm just gonna get straight into it. I'm just gonna just jump, deep dive right into the topics for today. I'm going to go on a professional football trial. I'm going again. I'm gonna try again. Right now I'm in Canada. I'm going to a different country. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna reveal the country I'm going to because of, just privacy reasons, but I am going to be on a professional trial with a third division team, and it's gonna be super fun. This was kind of something that I've been planning for a while. I've been training super hard. When I quit my door to door job, it was primarily so that I can have more time to train and get myself fit and ready for this trial that I kind of already had planned. But now it's official. Everything's been booked and everything has been signed, sealed, and delivered, and it's gonna happen. So next week I leave and I'm going to go. Did I say that? I'm going next week. I don't know if I said that, but I am. So what does this mean? Well, I'm a football player. I'm an athlete. Honestly, for the last 6 months or so, it's felt a bit dry. Like, I went on another trial in August. I spoke plenty about that in many other videos in the past, but I can kind of talk about it a little bit again. I went to a team in Spain, and it was like a thing where there were like 30 people there all on a trial at the same time. And it was a beautiful thing. It was one of the best experiences of my life. 2 weeks of just, we were living in like a dorm room type of setting. 2 weeks meeting some of the coolest dudes and having some of the best conversations while continuing to train and play football and play in matches. And it was honestly just a dream. It was honestly an amazing experience. I didn't make the team, unfortunately. They gave me an offer, but I didn't really like the terms of it. So I decided, okay, I don't want to stay another season in Portugal. So I came back to Canada. And then I was kind of in a limbo stage for a bit. I was training with the team here. They weren't very good. I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay with them. I was looking for a job, and then I found my door-to-door job, and then I worked it for a few weeks, made a lot of money, and then said, "All right, now I'm in a better financial position. Let's see what opportunities are out there." So I found this next opportunity, which is coming up next week, and that's just what I've been doing, continuing to make episodes, of course, but primarily to just continue to train hard. I just finished another workout, and now I'm talking to you guys in the episode. But I've just come back from another hard workout, so I'm training hard to make this happen. And perhaps in the future, you're gonna see some content about my training montage. I don't know, clips of me playing. Maybe some more posts to my Instagram. Go follow that if you haven't yet. It's linked in the description below. You can see some kind of insider information, like the inside scoop of what my days look like, what's going on, how I'm training, how I'm preparing, and the actual experience of the trial. The plan is, while I'm on this trial, I'm going to make shorter kind of update episodes based on my day, reflections of the day type of thing. It's technically going to be considered podcasts, but they will be very short, like just a couple minute long episodes of just me reflecting on the days. Because honestly, when I'm there, I need to have maximum focus on the task at hand, which is to play my best stuff and try and make the team. So I don't want any other distractions to potentially stop me from doing that. So I'm only going to be doing like short episodes. I'm not going to be posting shorts in that time. But I think it's still interesting content for you guys because it's something that, you're actually seeing in real time what's happening. I think that's good content. I think that's something that would be appreciated. I'm going to try and get some clips, whether it's training clips or like just, I don't know, just me playing. Whatever things I can find or whatever gets filmed. Usually on these trials, things get filmed because for the PR for the agent that's bringing me there. So, it's gonna be good. So I want to try and get as much out to you guys. I want to keep a certain level of privacy for myself, but at the same time, I do want to give good content out there and inspire people to chase their dreams, inspire people to make things happen and chase extraordinary things and big things and unlikely goals and all that kind of stuff. I want to be that inspiration. So hopefully this content and what's coming up and the plans for me going forward in these next few weeks and months should be something very interesting for you guys. So I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are as well. But back to the initial point I was saying, that kind of where this was last 6 months for me personally, the part of the reason why I started this podcast was because I just kind of needed something to do, right? Obviously, I love talking about, many things of life, teaching you guys things, spreading my faith, spreading my beliefs, and talking about the Bible and God and Jesus Christ and all of those beautiful things. I love doing those things. But the main reason I started this show was just so I had something to do, really. Like, I had this idea of a 365 podcast a while ago. And then, I was kind of in a moment where I was looking for something, right? I was just a little bit empty, right? Because I didn't make it. I'm back home. I'm still trying to adjust, looking for a job, not finding a job, trying some side hustles online, not working out very well. So then I decided to do this. I'm like, you know what? This is a good time to do it. And that's what that's what inspired me to start. And now we're here, episode 103, I believe, and we're still going strong. So now you're going to be seeing kind of in real time the transition period in my life, which I think is good. I think it's good content for you guys and good entertaining stuff. You're going to be seeing the transition from, just me being down here and in the space that I'm in. Like, this is a green screen, obviously, behind me. It's going to be transitioning from that. And in the early stages, there was no green screen. You could just see the kind of ugly green wall with the soccer posters. So it's just that you're going to see the transition where now, I'm going to be in a different country, maybe more vlog style type of thing, maybe more, I don't know, just directly more live type of thing, like live updates type of thing, where you're actually kind of getting a sneak peek into what's going on in my life. The transition from, just kind of being in my house, just training, waiting, and then eventually now we're finally making it to the point where everything's official. I can actually announce it to the world, which is what I'm doing today, that I'm going on this trial. And then, actually being there and experiencing all the good things that come with it. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope the content that I produce is good for you guys and that you enjoy it. Let me know. The only way you can let me know is by showing your support, by liking the videos, leaving comments, subscribing, following on Spotify, and following me on Instagram. Those are ways you can support me. And, if you enjoy the stuff, I appreciate it. And that's really all I can ask, right, from an audience. However small it may be. So, yeah, that is basically the big announcement. That's my biggest announcement, talking about what's happening with me in my life right now. You're going to start to see those transitions. I kind of touched upon it in a few previous episodes, but now I'm actually saying it directly, what I'm planning on doing, right? So we're doing this, right? I'm, first and foremost, I'm an athlete. When you talk about identities and all this stuff, right? It's you don't have to be so psychological and deep about it. My whole life I've been an athlete. I feel great every time I work out, and being fit is just a great thing. So I'm an athlete first and foremost. So let's go and make these things happen. Let's go and pursue the things that truly fill me up in the greatest way. And, secondary thing is me being a voice, a podcaster, a person that creates content, however small. So it's good to kind of let you guys know about it, that this is the main thing, the main point of what I'm doing in my life, where I'm trying to go with my life, is to make it to that level. And if I do, absolutely amazing. I'm going to try my best to make episodes. I can't guarantee anything because however intense the schedules may be, it'll be kind of tough to continue in the exact same way that I've been doing things. But at least for now, it'll be a very simple, linear pathway where it's going to kind of shift from me making longer form, conceptual videos and episodes, to me shifting, kind of just giving short tidbits, reflections, training montages, and tips and advice and just updates as to what's actually happening on the day-to-day versus longer form videos. You're going to see that transition in the short term, and then what happens after that is kind of down to whether or not I make the team. If I don't make the team, I'm going to come back, of course. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to reflect about it. what did I do well, what did I do wrong, some lessons that I took from it, and good tidbits and advice for you guys. And if I do make it, we'll see where the pieces fit from there. So that's the biggest thing. I'm excited for it. I've been training hard. So I hope you guys enjoy the content that's coming out. So the professional football trial, it is because this is the one thing that I want to keep doing. I have all this noise around me, people saying, oh, you shouldn't be doing it. How many, is this the last time you're doing it? Is it, you have to kind of make a decision on what you want to do with your life. I think the biggest thing I have is to say that sure, there is a point where you kind of have to hang up your boots and call it a day, but I'm 20 years old. I'm not at that point yet. And my, life isn't at that point yet. I truly believe that. So, with that in mind, for me, it's a super easy decision to find this opportunity and go and do this trial, which is going to be happening. So, that's the big thing. That's the big thing that is happening in my life right now. Here, like some smaller things that are happening are kind of like what's going on around me, what things I'm looking at. Like, for example, I'm a big music guy. For those of you that like rap music, A$AP Rocky just released his new album. I've actually been liking it so far. In my predictions video, I kind of predicted it to be a bit mid. I haven't gone through the whole album yet, but so far it's actually been very good. And in terms of other things, I'm pretty pissed off that Kyle Tucker signed for the Dodgers. That's a baseball thing because I was hoping he'd come to the Blue Jays, of course, because, from Toronto, and Blue Jays are the best, right? So he signed for the very team that destroyed all of our hopes and dreams a few months ago. That's like a little bit of a kind of just a little bit of a bad feeling that I'm feeling right now because that news just broke like at midnight last night. But, it is what it is. So, those are things I'm thinking about. Those are things that are kind of going on. And, yeah, I've been pretty obsessed with baseball, but, as well. With all the other things going on in my life, I have to kind of put all this to the side, focus on the main goal that I have at hand, which is this professional trial, which is being framed as this big thing because it is a big thing. What I also wanted to do when I was envisioning what I wanted my 2026 to look like, because I did end of year reflections. I did, I made videos about it around that time, but I was doing these things myself, end of year reflections, looking at what went well, what went wrong, what do I want to improve for 2026. I'm not the type of guy that makes New Year's resolutions, but I think the reflection aspect of it is a good structure for you. And when I was envisioning my 2026, to me it was the most obvious thing, kick the year off with a bang. And what better way to kick the year off with a bang than to go to another country and go and pursue the biggest dream of my life, which is professional football. So, with that in mind and all the other things I've already talked about in this episode, it's made it very easy for me to decide, yeah, the money that I made from my job, I'm putting directly back into my dreams, into what I'm trying to pursue in my life. So you can criticize it, and people around me have already criticized it. I'm perfectly fine with that. I understand. Oh, you can put that money. You made so much money. You can put that money into investments or whatever. I'm like, you know what? A bigger investment for me is in my dreams. And if it doesn't work out, it would probably still have been an amazing experience. So then it's worth it. To me, it's worth it regardless. The only reason it wouldn't be worth it is if I show up at the club, a lot of the players there are kind of assholes and rude, not really talking to me, and it just feels way too competitive, way too like overly stressful, like everyone hates each other, and the vibes just stink the whole time, and I'm just there and I'm just grinding away, and then I still don't make it. Then that would be like worst case scenario. Okay, like that would be like the only reason why I would kind of look back on this and be like, huh, that sucked. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. But I think that's the only way it would have been, right? I think regardless of the attitudes of the other people, if I make the team, it's going to be a good thing because I'm one step closer to reaching my goals, which is a great thing. And I'm also pretty confident that it won't be like that. I'm pretty like I've heard some things around, and I think the team, they said, is a very good group of people. It's a good group of players. So that's all I'm hoping for, right? Good experiences, good memories, as well as just working my absolute ass off, which is a part of the journey, and it's a part of what makes all of these great pursuits so beautiful, and that's why I'm choosing to continue on it. So I'm pretty confident that it will be a good experience regardless of whether or not I make it. But even if I don't, there's things to learn. If I do, then well, we can grow and improve from there. But we'll see what happens. For now, my plan for this next week is I'm going to be optimizing my sleep schedule. Maybe I'll give some more tidbits on that. Obviously, I talk a lot about sleep. I've made a bunch of videos about sleep in the past. But I talk about kind of how I'm going to be adjusting, because I got to start going to bed earlier and waking up earlier, because I got to adjust to the time change, because I'm going to a different country, I'm going to a different time zone. It's going to be a big shift. So I have to start making that shift now by optimizing my sleep, going to bed earlier, waking up earlier, and then slowly, just continuing to train, right? Wake up early, do a morning workout, do a lot more cardio this week. My cardio is pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's ready to go. But the more the merrier. Just keep it going. Push myself a little bit more just for this next week. And then maybe take a day or two of rest right before we get started. And then I fly over and we'll see what happens next week. So not a week from today. It's maybe like a little bit more than a week from today. But I'm talking about today because I think it's worth talking about, because it's officially been confirmed. And I think it's important to just kind of, let my feelings be known, let what's happening be known, so that you guys can truly, honestly follow me along this journey. That's also a big reason for this show. It's so that I'm not this guy that is this like super successful guy coming at you and talking to you about tips for life and mistakes I made and all of this stuff, right? Like most of the people who are podcasters, who have this, who are a little bit older, who have this experience. I'm not that. But I think what I have in value to you, the audience, is the fact that I'm working to be that, and you're following me on this journey as well. So every single vlog, every single video I make about this trial is just me kind of showing off the journey, showing the grind, showing the daily things and the daily reflections and all that stuff. And for you guys to follow my journey will help you guys on whatever journeys you are on. If you are also on this football journey or any athletic journey, as regardless, like it's, I think, good content for you. And even if you're not, that's what I'm trying to be, is an inspiration to people to go and follow their dreams. And of course, before anything else, to develop faith in God, because I think this is also like a half Christian podcast. I talk a lot about more practical things, but I try to make sure to always tie it into God, because faith is a big part of the reason why I do these things, why I continue to go on these journeys, because I truly believe that there's a reason why I feel so compelled to be a professional soccer player. And it's beyond anything that I can even understand, which is important, regardless of whether or not I actually do make it. It's important that I put it onto God, onto someone greater than me. So as much as, okay, you guys might think I'm annoying for it, I understand. But this is how it's going to be. It's like a half Christian podcast. I make some specific episodes on it, some more practical episodes. I think it's a decent balance. But those are really the two things I'm doing in this show. Trying to be an inspiration to people and trying to bring people to God. Because the power that God brings is unlike any other, and it is truly greater than any other. So those are really the biggest things. And kind of telling you guys about things that I'm going through will only make my goals a whole lot clearer and a whole lot better, and you guys can enjoy the journey and follow along the journey with me. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So I think that's it. I think I've wrapped up. That's kind of what's happening to me right now in my life. I'm going to continue to train. I'm listening to things, and I have my own things that I like and that I do. But really the main thing is training hard, to make this thing happen, and to actually push to give it my all, right? That's all I can ask for, to get there and to give it my all, and to be done knowing that I gave it my all. Last trials I did, they didn't work out, but I was, I was happy with it because of the experience, and because I knew that I did truly give it everything I got. So this is just another chapter in the story, another chapter in the journey. and I invite you all to follow along with me. So thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you're new. Follow on Spotify if you're new. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate those that are, still watching every single video. Regardless of what happens to the show, my plans for my life are still going to stay the same. So I invite you guys along this journey with me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode.